Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Mata ki jai. Hari Om. Yesterday we have solved all the questions, isn't it? From one outlook. And there is a saying, sonar ka hammer, goldsmith is 100 hammers, but blacksmith is one. So it is equal. Anyway, but before, you see, what I think, always, not only we, everybody, generally what happens, when we go to see something or discuss something, what happens? We do it according to our own style. That is what happens always. That is to say, we see the world from our angle of vision, or by our eyes we see the world. If the person has, what is that called? Jaundice, he will see the world only yellow. He cannot see any colors. That is what happens with everyone. When we go to see something, discuss something, or go to take a decision on something, we forget others. We are stubborn to stick to our views. That is what always happens. But you have to understand, I means it is not only present I. My ID is not made at present. It is made by so many, you see, sources, so many supports. This I is built by accumulation of so many information from so many sources in the past, and that has come with us, and this I is built up. It depends upon all the time on time, situations, surroundings, our friend circle, our supporting sources, and our capacity of accumulating all those informations and piling up and making it I. And from this angle, I sees the situation. So it is called selfishness. We should not forget, I is only a partial view. A one-sided view. So if you want to know the truth, the reality, or something solid decision, then you have to give up this I. You have to be impartial. You have to hear everyone at present, and you have to understand every views, and then you have to accept all those views together and discuss. Then you can go to some decisive situation. That will be what I think it will be impartial. It will be something balanced view. And if I is prominent, then the case is gone. You understand nothing when your I works. So always we have to give up this I and hear all the expressions of all the viewers from different angles, how a situation is tackled and how it is seen by different people from different angles, then only we can come to some all-round conclusion. In every case we have to be careful to be such impartial judge. Then only we can have something, or else nothing we get. So now we shall start our second chapter. We have already seen, Sanjay said, Sanjay the minister who had the inner sight by the grace of Lord Krishna, and he narrated the situation to Dhritarashtra, the king. He says, to him who was thus overcome with pity and who was despondent with eyes full of tears and agitated, Madhusudan, the destroyer of Madhu, or Krishna, spoke these words to Arjuna, of course. The dialogue is going on between Arjuna and Lord Krishna, and this view is being narrated to Dhritarashtra, the blind king, by Sanjay, the minister. So now Madhusudan, we have discussed why Madhusudan is the name of Lord Krishna or Vishnu himself. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kasmalamidam Visame Samupasthitam Anaryajustam Aswaryam Akirtikaram Arjuna. The blessed Lord said, whence is this perilous strait come upon thee? This dejection which is unworthy of you, disgraceful, and which will close the gates of heaven upon you, Arjuna. How could you get such ideas? It doesn't appeal to you. It doesn't look nice What are you speaking? It is simply beyond imagination. He was astonished and he was asking, Lord Krishna was asking Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, how have you got all these ideas? Where from?" Huh? He was wondered. And then he says, "Oh Arjuna, this doesn't look on your part. This doesn't look nice on your part. Klaivyam asmagamah partha naityat upapadyate shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyakto tishta parantapa." Oh great warrior, you can do anything and everything. And this is called cowardness, timidity. This doesn't look nice on you. This timidity, this cowardness, you should give up. Oh Partha, this doesn't look good on your part. This is very, very weakness of the heart. Give it up. Get up. Don't have such ideas. Yield not to importance. O Arjuna, son of Pritha, he reminds him whose family you belong to. Huh? O son of Pritha, it does not befit these people like you. Cut off this mean weakness of the heart. Stand up, O scorcher of the foes. You can just in no time you can scorch all your enemies. And you, such a mighty warrior, you think like this? Arjuna Vacha. When Arjuna heard this, he didn't hear it properly. This is what happens to every one of us. We keep up to our views. We don't hear others. That is what I was telling now. We stick to our views. What I think I am right, what all of you say, you don't understand anything. This is what generally happens with everyone. Arjuna Vacha. Katham bhishmam aham sangshe dronam cha madhusudana isubhi pratijochami pujaraha marisudana. Oh, Arjuna said, oh, how can I fight against these elderly people who are worth worshipping? And I have to fight against them instead of worshipping them. How, O Madhusudan, shall I fight in battle with arrows against Bhishma and Drona? They are worshipful. Who are fit to be worshipped, O destroyer of enemies, Varisudana. Arisudana, destroyer of the enemies. How can I do this? How can I think of fighting against such worshipful people. Guru nahatva mahanubhavan Shreyo bhaktum bhakshamapi haloke hatvartha kamamstu guru niheva bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan. Better it is indeed in this world to accept alms than to slay the most noble teachers. But if I kill them, even in this world, all my enjoyments of wealth and fulfilled desires will be stained with blood. Blood of whom? My worshipful elders. How can I do this? How can I enjoy my throne stained with blood of such worshipful elderly persons? I cannot think of it. He is justifying himself. Na chait tad vignaha katarannu gariyo yadva jayema jadivano jayehu yaneva tvan ajijivi samam steva stitaha pramukhe dhartarashtra. We can hardly tell which will be better, that we should conquer them or that they should conquer us. Even the sons of Dhritarashtra, after slaying whom we do not wish to leave, stand facing us. We cannot say decidedly who will win, who will be defeated. When the battle is going on, nothing is decided. Anything can happen. Anytime, anything can happen. Yet, these sons of Dhritarashtra, our own brothers, they are standing before us. It is impossible to kill them. I cannot. Karpanya doso pahata svabhava prichhami tvam dharma samudha cheta jat shreyah sa nishchidam bruhitan me sishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Now he understands when Krishna is opposing his views. He understands, of course, Krishna is better is a decision maker than me. He is far clever than me. So he decides to surrender to Krishna. And he asked, "O Lord, I am bewildered to decide what is right and what is wrong, because I think in this way. Karpanya dosa pahatah svabhavaha. With my nature overpowered by the taint of pity, I have mercy on these fellows." He thinks he is very kind to them. He is not accepting his timidness. I am pitying on them. They are unable to see this situation. And with this overpowered my intellect, I am unable to decide what is duty for me in this juncture. I am asking you, oh Lord, oh Krishna, I am unable to decide, and you can decide because you are not tainted with this type of, say, what we call kuch whims. यश्रेयः स्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेहं साधिमां त्वं प्रपन्नम्. I surrender to you. I accept your discipleship, and you have to decide now and tell me what is better for me to do. What is my duty in this situation? I am unable to decide what is right, what is wrong. So now, see the condition of the disciple. We have to understand, of course, a disciple, a sincere disciple, has to undergo this visad state, a state of despondency, a state of not being able to decide anything. And yet the disciple thinks, whatever I am thinking, I am right. Even then, if a disciple is sincere, he has to surrender to the Guru. Arjuna does it. This is the way to approach a Guru. Unless you surrender at the feet of your Guru, Guru will not take care of you. And Guru does nothing. He just gives the decision. He just guides on the path. You have to tread the path. He does nothing. Just he directs you. And in such conditions, even if you have surrendered to a small child, you have to obey him. Obedience is better than reverence. Not only prostrating before him and verbally telling I am surrendering you, that will not do. You have to, of course, you have right to ask questions and clear up your whims and your understandings and your whatever you understand to be right. On that you can go on putting questions. Questioning is not forbidden, but whatever in the end, after hearing you, whatever Guru says, you have to obey it literally. If Guru says sit, you have to sit without asking why and where. No question. And if he says get up, without questioning you have to get up. Jump, closing your eyes. On this, I shall give you an example, always I used to give it. The story of a disciple and our Gorakhnath. Gorakhnath, a great Siddha, great yogi, and eternal being, immortal being. and he always roams about with some few disciples, and disciples get instructions while roaming. And he had a group of disciples, and among them he used to love from his heart of hearts one who is most obedient chap. So others were jealous of him. Why Guruji loves him best, and Guruji doesn't love us so much as him. So they were jealous, and Goraknath understood the feelings of others, and Goraknath wanted to clear up their doubts and jealousy towards this boy. So they were going one day somewhere in the forest, and it was a little midday, and they were tired. Goraknath asked everyone under a tree, boys, we can rest here for a while. We are tired. After a while, after resting a while, we can go further. Yes, Guruji, we are also very tired. Sitting there, looking around, Goraknath pointed out the nearby big rock, big mountain, and he asked children, look at that big rock, how beautiful it looks. But from this side, it looks just perpendicular. It stands 90 degrees. And from other sides, of course, there is slope. But this side, you see, it is just standing perpendicularly. What will be on the top of it? The disciples said, Guruji, it is very high. We don't know what will be there on the top. What will be behind it? No, we have to see, then we can find out. Who can go there? One by one, everybody said, I can go Guruji. Okay, where from you will climb? From that slope? Yes, go up. One by one, everyone goes up. When they reach there, Guruji, I have reached here. So Guruji says, my dear, jump from there. No, Guruji, it is so high. I have no such practice. I cannot jump from such a height. My legs will break. I cannot jump, Guruji. Okay, my dear, come back. One after another, everyone is asked to go up and jump. But these foolish children, they could not understand why Guruji is asking him to jump. But they didn't obey. Last, that boy, Guruji said, my dear, can you go up? Yes, Guruji, I can also go. He went up and shouted, Guruji, I have reached here. Okay, my dear boy, jump down. Yes, Guruji. He jumped without thinking. This example very often is given to understand what is called obedience. How should one disciple obey his master? He jumped, and everybody sees below him a heap of rose petals, and on those petal heap the two hands of the Guruji. So he need not, there was no need to explain the situation to others, but the students understood. This is why Guruji loves him. When you have made a Guru, have you made such a foolish nonsense? Your Guru, does he not know if you jump from such a height, you will break your legs and hands? And without understanding this, your Guru says, jump, my dear. This much common sense one should have. So this is called obedience. Blindly you should follow the order of, you should act according to the order of the Guru. No if, no but, no why, no how. Nothing. Then only you can get something from your Guru. And from other angle, it is not Guru's grace. From other angle, it is your strong faith and devotion towards Guru which manifests. So Arjuna has adopted this method. He surrenders to Lord Krishna and he admits, now I am unable to decide anything, and so, O Lord, please tell me decisively what is my duty at this juncture. Nahi prapasyami mamapanudyat jat shreyoh jat chok mucho sanam indiyanam abhapya bhuma vasapatnam mriddham rajyam suranam apichadhipatyam. I do not see that it would remove this sorrow that burns up my senses, even if I should attain prosperous and unrevealed dominion of earth or lordship over the gods, heaven. Even if I get the kingdom of earth or heaven, that will not pacify this situation of mind. I am totally duped in such bewilderness. So, in this way, he surrenders to Lord Krishna. Sanjaya Vacha. The minister again says, Evam uktva hrishikesam gudakesah parantapa na jochaiti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha. Telling in this way, uttering these words of sorrow and some bewilderness or some undecisive, confused state of mind, he gave up the weapons, the arrow and bow, and he kept quiet for a while. I am not going to fight this battle. Having spoken thus to Rishikesh, the lord of the senses, Govinda, Rishikesh, same thing. Arjuna, the conqueror of sleep. Gudakesa, who has got complete master over sleep. If he wishes to sleep, he can, or else without sleep he can fight. Arjuna, the destroyer of foes, said to Krishna, I will not fight, and became silent. I am not going to fight. Do whatever you like. So poor Krishna, what can he do? Sanjay said like this, and tamuvacha Rishikesaha prahasanniva bharata senayor ruhair madhye visidandamidam vachaha. Lord was not bewildered by his such attitude. He understands everything thoroughly well. What is Arjuna? Because they are close friends, brothers, and of course, from other angle, he is the indweller of all beings. So he knows every blood particle of Arjuna. He is not bewildered by this such inactiveness of Arjuna. Then tamuvacha Rishikesa prahasanyava bharata, laughing at him, ridiculing. My dear, great, what we call great wise man. When he stands silent, throwing his weapons, Lord Krishna laughing at him, he started saying him these words in the midst of two sides of the armies. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, to him who was despondent in the midst of the two armies, Krishna, as if smiling, O Bharat, spoke these words. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, asocyananvasochyastam pragyavadam sabhasase gatasun agatasumscha nanu sochanti panditaha. You are speaking like a great wise man, but you know how do the wise men speak and how do they think. He is giving the description of a wise man. How do the wise men speak and think, and how you are speaking and acting, comparing. He is giving the comparison of a wise man and Arjuna. The Blessed Lord said, Thou hast grieved for those that should not be grieved for, yet thou speakest words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead, wise men never grieve on the dead souls, nor for the living beings. Why not? They understand the situation and they understand what Lord Krishna is going to explain to Arjuna in whole of the Gita. How does a wise man think and how does he act? Of course, now he will explain in this chapter itself the symbols of a Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna, whose intellect is well established on the truth. How does he behave? How does he speak? How does he act? And so now, in the very beginning, he is telling, "Oh Arjuna, you are speaking like a very great wise man, but the wise men never grieve for dead bodies nor for living bodies, because they understand it is not the incident, it is the play of the energy. The supreme nature, the primordial nature, the you see Maya, the supreme power, plays all these, and so understanding the game of Maya, everything is being done by the Maya, they never get perturbed. They don't speak like this. They do their duties, what should be done at the time. Gurudev has given commentary over this. Let us see. The philosophy of Gita begins from this verse. That is what I was telling. The whole Gita stands upon this one stanza. How does a wise man behave? So you should have that idealism, the motto, and follow the great people. It is said in the proverbs of Sanskrit, Jajada charate sthetaha tata deve taru janaha. The path which is trodden by the great ones, the others tread the same. After that, they go behind the great people. So, everyone should have this idealism. You should follow the wise men and their sayings. How did they behave in the past, so that too will be your guideline. This is what happened with Arjuna, and Lord gave the examples and cleared up all the doubts, and Arjuna did the same. Bhishma and Drona deserve to grieve because they are eternal in their real nature, and they are virtuous men who possess very good conduct. Arjuna was giving the name Drona and Bhishma, they are worshipful. So if you accept that, see the point clarified by Lord Krishna. If you accept Drona and our Bhishma, they are worshipful. Just as I told, the disciple doesn't obey the Guru because Guru doesn't know if I jump from such a height, I will break my legs. Does Guru not know this much? So when Arjuna is praising Drona and Bhishma as great people and wise men and worshipful, so are they doing some wrong standing before you to fight? Are you not able to understand this much, oh foolish boy? You are grieving at them, huh? Feeling pity on them, and on one side you are telling they are worshipful, and now you are pitying on them. I feel pity on them. Both the contradictory thoughts in your mind makes you bewilder what to decide and what not, what is right, what is wrong. That was the situation of Arjuna. One side he is praising them, other side he is pitying on them. See, this is what Lord Krishna pointed out. Oh Arjuna, you are speaking like a wise man, and yet you are behaving like a foolish nonsense. This should not be on your part. Bhishma and Drona deserve no grief because they are eternal in their real nature. In their real nature, Bhishma knows what is right and wrong, and Drona also knows what is duty at the particular time. So they never are misleaded. They do the right thing. And if you accept this, you have to accept they are doing also. They are standing for fight. Though you speak words of wisdom, you are unwise because you grieve for those who are really eternal and who deserve no grief. You should not have pity on them. You should not say such words for them. They who are endowed with the knowledge of the self are wise men who knows about the self, the eternal self, your own nature, and they are Drona and Bhishma, whom you accept as wise men. Really, you have understood them, and now you are pitying on them. What foolishness! They who are endowed with the knowledge of the self are wise men. They will not grieve for the living or for the dead, because they know well that the self is immortal and that it is unborn. They also know that there is no such a thing as death, that it is a separation of the astral body from the physical. that death is nothing more than a disintegration of matter, and that the five elements of which the body is composed return to their sources. Arjuna had forgotten the eternal nature of the soul and the changing nature of the body. Body has to change. It is subject to change, but the soul never changes. Because of his ignorance, he began to act as if the temporary relations with kinsmen, teachers, etc. were permanent. Our relationship as the body is concerned, bodies are concerned. Our relationship with the body sense only. But the soul is eternal. There is no relationship. Everybody is one, or everybody is related in the same way. Because of his ignorance, he began to act as if the temporary relations with kinsmen, teachers, etc. were permanent. He forgot that his relations with this world in his present life were the results of past actions. He forgot it. Because of our past lives, whatever we have accumulated, some relationship and some impressions, some memories, or some informations, some relationships that results in this life, and the body is made accordingly. And that body also, when it takes a birth, means appears in this world in physical form, it will have relationships with those. That relationship past, in the past, it will continue in the present also. Just like whatever you have learned in the lower classes, that will help you in the higher classes, in the schools or colleges. Similarly, these relationships, they are brought forth from the past. So these relationships are concerned with the body, and these impressions collected in the past, now it is going on. But soul is never concerned with this, nor affected by this. Soul is eternal, immortal. Present life are the results of past actions. These, when exhausted, end all relationship, and new ones crop up when one takes on another body. When these relationships or our you see, yes, we can say relationship, when relationship is prolonged for a particular time, that means the scheme or the past plan is done, over, then this body has no work here. Just as your course, your scheme of your textbooks in a particular class is planned for 1 year. When you have finished those course, now you have to give up the class Either you will be promoted to some other class or you will go in other directions. It is your choice. Exactly the same happens with our birth and death and span of life. We are governed by our pre-plan, that is called prarabdha. And that prarabdha is related with relationships of the bodies and actions and reactions, all these. When everything is done, so the time is over. Now you have to give up this body. Who gives up? The soul, the eternal soul, immortal soul. He uses these bodies as instruments. Arjuna has forgotten this. So, the result of past actions is known as karma, and that portion of this karma which gave rise to this present incarnation, means present life, is known as prarabdha karma. So according to your prarabdha karma, you are directed, or you are forced to go on in this body for a certain time by the supreme, all-governing nature. So everything is done by the nature, and your actions and reactions are cause for it. So where is your relationships of brotherhood and all these? It is not at all taken for consideration. Wise men never think in this way. So tomorrow we shall see further how Lord Krishna he laughs at Arjuna and he tries to give the essence of our life, what is life, and how the wise men, understanding the reality, act in this world. They should be followed, they should be respected. If you say these old fellows, they are respectful, they should be respected, worshipful, then you have to worship them. Why are you feeling pity on them? Hari Om. Tomorrow we shall see further. Hari Om. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Mata ki jai, Sachidananda